to Cake Mom TV. I'm Abby, I'm a busy mom of two, and on this channel I bake for you guys. I show you some tips and some hints and some of my favorite recipes. So today we're gonna do an experiment. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but we're gonna try. It's a vegan chocolate cake. I'm not the master of all things vegan, but I know a few things about substitution, so I'm gonna take my traditional chocolate cake recipe and I'm gonna trade out the things that would make it non-vegan. Okay, so here are our ingredients right here. I got them all lined up. Here we have some all-purpose flour, 2 cups, a cup and 3/4 of granulated sugar, a fine granulated sugar, a 1/2 cup of applesauce, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder mixed with 1.5 cups of boiling water, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, or it will be, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, so what I've done here is I've traded out my butter and my eggs for 2 completely different ingredients. All right, the most important thing you need to know about substituting is what the ingredient's purpose was before you substitute it out. For instance, here I've traded my butter for oil. Because my butter is my fat component, I've traded it for another fat that is vegan. So this is vegetable oil. My eggs I substituted with applesauce. The important thing about substituting eggs is you need to know what their purpose was. There are so many different things that eggs bring to a cake. It's like the magical ingredient of baking. So eggs can provide protein, they can provide a structure, they can provide moisture, they can provide fat, they can provide a leavening agent. You have to know what its purpose in the cake was. For my chocolate cake, I have other leaveners. I have these chemical leaveners, so I'm not worried about that. It's mostly a moisture component, I would say, so I'm trading it out for applesauce. An egg generally is 3 to 4 tablespoons, so I traded it out for the appropriate amount of applesauce, which is 8 tablespoons. We're gonna start with our sugar and our oil. We're gonna beat them in this mixer. Oil, some sugar, best kind of flavors. I stocked up on fruit and vegetables. All right, so since it's not butter, you don't need to worry about creaming it to light and fluffy. We're just creaming the ingredients together at this point. Scrape down the sides. Now I will mention I added a little extra of my chemical leaveners since we do cream the eggs to add a little bit of air, which would help with the rise of the cake. We're gonna add our egg component, which is the applesauce. Before we do anything else, we need to combine our dry ingredients. So we're gonna take our flour, baking soda, baking powder, and some salt. We're gonna whisk it together. We want to avoid any lumps, so if you feel like your flour or your baking soda or anything is lumpy, go ahead and sift it with the magical sifter. Mine's pretty smooth, I'm not gonna do that. Now we're gonna alternately add our cocoa mixture and our flour, starting and ending with our dry ingredients. Basically, you just want to get everything well combined. You don't want to overmix it. You'll develop too many glutens. You'll have a tough cake. So don't overmix it once you've added the flour. Just gonna do 1 scrape real quick. Mix it one more time. And now I'm gonna put it in my cake pans. Right, don't forget to prepare your cake pans. A little bit of oil, flour, and parchment paper. Now, this is not gluten-free, as you saw. Gluten-free is a totally different substitution, very complicated. If you wanna see some gluten-free cakes, comment below. I can do that too. It's just totally different science. I'm gonna pour this into these cake pans and I'm gonna put them in an oven So I've put these into the prepared cake pans. I'm gonna tap them out, get some air bubbles out, wake the kids up. All right, I'm gonna put these into a 350-degree oven for 20, 30, something like that minutes until a toothpick comes out clean and I press the center and it bounces back. I'll be back. All right, welcome back. We're gonna decorate this vegan chocolate cake. I've made some chocolate vegan buttercream and some vanilla vegan buttercream. If you'd like to see how this chocolate one is made, I'll be posting a video on that soon, so make sure to follow my channel, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. All right, I'm gonna get the cake out of the freezer. All right, so here we have our chocolate cake. What do you think, Anne-Marie? Does it look good? You think Garrett's gonna like it? All right, so I got a little piece of drawer liner. I've got my cake board all set up here. I'm gonna need an offset spatula. I'm gonna use a small offset spatula. Don't touch. You wanna wear your hat? Oh, let's wear his other hat. And I'm gonna be using a couple different piping bags. And a cake smoother. I think that's everything. All right, so I'm going to put some chocolate buttercream in a large piping bag, fit with a round tip. It's a 804 for anyone who follows the numbers. It's big. Grab your spatula. I have one spatula now because my kids like to play with them. Thank you. You got that all gone. Good job. So fill your piping bag full of your chocolate buttercream.
What, Mom?
Nothing.
What do you say, Mom?
I got fruit juice on me.
Silly Mommy. You're so silly, Mommy.
I know I am.
Get
And I'm okay with that. I did. All right, so we're gonna start with putting a little bit of buttercream on our board to hold our cake down. Just a little bit, don't need a lot. All right, start with our first layer of cake. It turned out pretty good, I'd say. It's very moist. So if you wanna dry your cake, you're gonna have to cut back on either the oil or the applesauce, either one. All right, let's put a layer of chocolate buttercream down.
Wow.
Okay, then we're going to smooth it out. I want to make it pretty flat, not completely. All right, I'm going to be putting a little bit of a raspberry filling, so I want to put a ridge of buttercream to keep it from flowing out the sides, which is why I put my buttercream in a piping bag.
Wow.
So here's some raspberry filling I made.
Wow.
Just want a little bit because it's a small cake. And I don't want it to mush out everywhere. Then we have some vegan chocolate chips. We got these at the grocery store. Yes, you can. Let me clean your hand real quick.
Yeah.
Need to get some baby-sized gloves up in here. Get a pinch, a big pinch, like. And put some right on there. Can you reach it? Good job. Gonna put some more? Good job. You can kind of spread them out a little bit. Put one more pinch.
Oops.
Whoopsie daisy.
Hey,
Cake layer?
Why, Mom? Why do you do that?
Because you're gonna make a cake for Garrett. Birthday cake.
Oh.
Some more buttercream. We're just gonna repeat what we did in that last layer. All right, here's our last cake layer.
Why are you doing that, Mom? Well, why are you doing that, Mom?
I'm doing that to make a cake. What do you think?
Can I do that?
I'm gonna smooth it out, smooth on some frosting. Do a
Can I
front
do
coat.
that?
No, I gotta do this part. This is what's called the crumb coat. It's to catch any and all little crumbs. So now we're gonna refrigerate this top coat, and then we're gonna go back in with our decorating. We'll be right back. All right, so now we're gonna put our top coat on. Our crumb coat has gotten nice and hard in the fridge. Would you like some frosting? Yeah? Aaliyah, what's going on over there? You doing okay? So now for our top coat, I'm gonna put on some vanilla vegan buttercream. I just try to get it kind of on there. I'll smooth it out in a minute. I'm not worried about it being perfect the first round. Whoops. Did you eat it all gone?
I was so eating it.
Oh, you want it back? All right, so I have it all covered up. Now I'm gonna smooth it. Emery, get down. Here. Here's your spoon. So now I'm gonna just kind of, sorry, roughly smooth it out. I'm gonna put some on the top. I want to smooth it out a little bit more. So you just kind of lightly press. You don't really hold it down. All right, so to smooth the top off, I'm gonna start across from me and pull straight towards me, kind of evening off that little bit of an edge there. And turn the cake. All right, so now I have a semi-smooth white cake. Now I want to add a little bit of flair. So I'm gonna take some of my chocolate. I'm gonna make it kind of like a I don't know, marbled look kind of. Just put some splotches on. Okay, so for the bottom, I want to do kind of like a chocolate chip layer. Measured out a piece of parchment paper. Lay it on my cake. Just kind of press them on there. I want to add some of that raspberry to give it kind of a nice gloss. But I have to put a border on to keep the raspberry from falling down the sides. Alright, so that's just a simple decorated vegan chocolate cake with some raspberry, some vanilla, some fresh strawberries. You can go as far as you want with this. You can keep it simple. This is what I would consider a simple version. So that's all I have for you today. If you want to see how I made the frosting, if you want to see how I leveled the cake, I'll have videos of those two things coming up really soon. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cake Mom TV. I'm Abby. You saw my kids. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the little notification bell so you can see when I post more. And we'll be back. Have a great day.